If you need a technique to help you figure out if something that came through was your imagination or intuition, this is going to be a great session for you. So many of my students focused on this coming in because it's a really big issue. Was it my imagination or intuition? And there are tons of tools in the Sage Circle community and in the Sage Method course to help you process through that yourself as well. If you're new to the channel, please click subscribe, hit that notification bell to make sure that you get all these videos, and hopefully I'll see you in the Sage Circle. Imagination versus intuition. Woo! It's a big one. It's such a big one that I do make videos on this. I talk about this in a lot of the interviews that I do because it's so important. Every student, every person I've ever known when it comes to intuition, honing their intuition, has had the phrase come out of their mouth, "Did I make that up?" And you're listening now, nodding your head, going, yep, I've had that as well. And here's the catch. Even if you open your intuitive channel, even if you're using your intuition, even if you start doing readings for other people, you're still going to have moments in your day-to-day life where something comes through, but you're not sure if you made it up. You're not sure if it's intuition or imagination. So today I want to break down a few things for you, including a tool that is very helpful when it comes to kind of double checking. Did I make that up? I'm not quite sure, but it is a fantastic tool. So we will cover that. A few things I want to say about imagination versus intuition. And I'm going to say just a couple little things here because sometimes it's that little thing that can click for you that you can go, okay, that was the sentence I needed to hear. Here's some things that I've learned about intuition versus imagination over the years. I've been teaching for so long at this point that I've seen so many people approach this, and I've seen the patterns. And that's what I get to do here, is bring to you these patterns. And hopefully they click for you in your own intuitive path. One of the things that I've seen over the years is the best way to describe the difference between intuition and imagination is pull and push. It's a subtle difference between a pull and a push. And I'll talk about it a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's a subtle difference at first, but I want you to give yourself some patience and keep working with it, because eventually you will feel very strongly whether you're being pulled or whether you are pushing. If you're being pulled, it's your intuition. If you're pushing, it's your imagination. And my guides literally came through and had me create Discovery Meditation. It is a meditation series. It's guided meditations on audio. And that series was created like 15 years ago, and people are still using it because it was literally created with the intent to help someone feel the difference between imagination and intuition. So what I'm going to tell you about that, even if you don't listen to the audio series, what I will tell you is it's playing around and setting up in your own meditation. Set up your intention. Imagine, use your imagination. I think this is the part that people struggle with, as they sit down, try to empty their mind and wait for intuition to come through. And that can be a struggle, but it's okay. And that's like, I'm giving you permission. This is okay to sit down and use your imagination. Use it. Use your intent, use your imagination. Create a world, create an experience in your meditation. Feel it or see it, depending on how you function. And create it. It's okay. Here's the key to learning the difference between the two. Allow yourself to use your imagination, and then until you get to a certain point, and then stop and hold still. What you're doing is you are purposely using your imagination to create something. Perhaps it's a field with some trees and you can hear a babbling brook next to you. You're purposely using your imagination so you can feel that push, feel that act of creating, and then you're going to hold still in that field. Go ahead, create the field. You got the trees, the field, the creek. Start there. Come up with something more creative. Maybe it's a beach next to the ocean. Create it. Feel it or see it. Create it. Know that you created it. Know that you used your imagination. And then in that scene that you've created, hold still. Hold still, allowing your intuition to speak if it wants to. At that point, when your imagination comes through, it will present something in your meditation that you did not expect, or it will bring you somewhere that you did not plan on going. And then you can feel what it feels like for your intuition to pull you, to pop something up in front of you, or give you a feeling, or pull you somewhere. Doing this over and over, and this is in essence, I'm pretty much describing the different variations of all of the guided audios in Discovery Meditation, but doing this on a regular basis, this is your practice. When you go into a meditation, you create an environment. Perhaps you're imagining a sandy beach, the ocean waves, you can see cabins in the distance, and you're walking and you can feel the sand in your toes. All of that is your imagination. You agree to that, you know it, you're going in, you're like, I'm pushing. This is my push. And here's my imagination. I've created it. And now I'm going to stand on the beach and I'm going to just hold still and let my intuition tell me something. So use your imagination up to a point, hold still, invite your intuition to come in. And when it does, you will feel the difference. It will pull you. You will feel like, whoop, didn't plan that. Whoa, didn't expect that. That is the difference. When you do this on a regular basis, you'll start to feel what it feels like to push and create with your imagination, and you will feel what it feels like to be pulled by your intuition. That's like my number one tip to help people with imagination versus intuition. The difference is it's a pull or a push. Now, the tool. Haven't quite gotten to the actual tool I wanted to tell you about. I just threw that one in there too because it's really good. But when it comes to just day to day, you're not meditating, day to day, something pops in, you think of something, you see something, you feel something, or you think you might have heard something, and you're not sure if you made it up. The first thing you can do is check in with yourself and say, was I already thinking about this topic? If you were, odds are very good it was your imagination, just kind of subtly in the background going, oh, you're thinking about this. Well, could be this, could be that, could be this. So your imagination can be very subtle in the background, and it can give you a feeling or a visual. Not everybody visualizes. Some people do feel, and you just know, but still it's going to come from your imagination because you're focused on that topic. If something comes through, so that's the first step of this tool. If something comes through that came out of left field, didn't expect it, out of the blue, and you still have a moment of doubt where you're not sure if you made that up. You've checked in and you've said, okay, no, I wasn't focused on that topic. This is not something I was currently thinking about when it happened. Okay, step 2, and here's my tool that I love. I want you to clean the slate. We can naturally, when something comes through and we think it might be intuition, naturally we can try to grab onto it. We can go into this feeling of more, tell me more, tell me more. Absolutely, 100%. And yes, that applies when it comes to being in an intuitive state. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. But when something surprises you out of the blue and you're not sure if it was your imagination or intuition, if you think it was your intuition, you might want to just symbolically get closer to it, I guess is what I'm saying. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to separate yourself from it. I'm going to ask you to clean the slate. Wipe it clean. Imagine a giant windshield in front of you, that a windshield wiper just washes away what came through. I imagine a huge whiteboard and a big eraser that just erases everything that came through, or feel what it feels like to have something washed away and cleaned. You're not sending intuition away. What you're doing is you're saying, give me a minute. I need to reset and start from scratch, and then invite the information to come in again. If it doesn't, then you might be looking at your imagination. If it does, most likely it is absolutely your intuition. Meaning, situation happens, pops in, you see it, you feel it, or you hear it, and it pops in, and you go, well, that's odd. I just thought of my aunt giving me a phone call, like calling me later today. I wonder if that's my intuition, or I'm making that up because I want her to call. Instead of trying to get more intuitive information, trying to get more information around it, I'm going to stop. I'm going to wipe the slate clean and say, okay, Thank you. If that was a message, thank you for the message. I'm going to just wipe that away for now and take a deep breath. Perhaps GCP, it's a good tool to use right here. I'm going to just anchor in real quick and say, okay, to my intuition. If that was my intuition, please show that to me again. Please allow me to feel that again. Please allow me to sense that again. And then just be silent for 5-10 seconds. And if it pops back in again, then it was definitely your intuition. In this type of tool, I want you to imagine your intuition being your best friend who leaned over and said, hey, guess what? And you went, wait a minute, did I hear that? I'm not sure if I heard that. Hold on. I need the silence for a second. Okay, now go again. Now I can hear you more clearly. You're setting yourself up into a spot where you're giving your intuition a platform to speak a little bit more loud, a little louder. That's what you're doing. You're saying, okay, come on, come through a little bit more loudly, please. Just a little bit more vibrant. Just come through. And it'll surprise you. Wipe the slate clean. Do not fear that you're pushing it away. You're not. You're saying to your intuitive channel, give me a second. I need to reset. Okay, if that was you, deliver it again, please. And it will. It will. Now, like I said in the beginning of this session, this happens. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing your intuition, this still might happen. I have gone into homes to do clearings, and I've been doing clearings for years at this point, and I've gone into homes and I've seen something and I've gone, wait a minute, I think I might have just made that up. And I'll wipe it clear and go, okay, I'm starting from scratch. Okay, now show me again. And it will replay itself over and over, so I can confirm that is my intuition, not my imagination. Part of this is going to be your trust in yourself, that when you do wipe this slate clean, when you say, hold on, give me a second and see if we can repeat this, you do have to hold yourself in a space of not bringing your imagination into it, not making it happen over and over again. You are literally holding yourself there saying, I'm not going to make it happen. I'm going to let it happen. If it does, then it's there. If it doesn't, it might just be my left brain or my worry happening. Keep that in mind. To this day, I do card readings I do live card readings inside the Sage Circle community membership. And there's still times to this day, even though I've been doing readings and clearings for years and years and years and years, there's still moments in my card readings for the community members where I'll be like, okay, hold on. I'm not sure if I thought that or not. So I need to reset. And I do. I reset and then I just wait and let it come back in again naturally. Allow it to pull you. That's where the push-pull comes in. Allow it to pull you. Something happens out of the blue. You don't know if it was a push or a pull. So the best thing to do, wipe the slate clean, hold still, see if it pulls you again without you pushing. See if it pulls you again without you pushing. Another way to say that is something comes through. You're not sure if it was imagination or intuition. Wipe the slate clean. Hold still. Don't let your imagination fill in any blanks. Hold still so your intuition can come through and say, yes, indeed, this was an intuitive moment for you. You want more tools? Here's another one. It's all about fidgeting and how it can help you with your intuitive readings. It's a good one to jump into. Plus, it's fun.